We're gonna put a new reservoir tank in for the coolant on this B7 Audi A4. This is the 2.0T engine. It's on a lot of different Audis, so you're gonna see this coolant tank on a lot of 2.0 engines. This is a 2006, and you'll see it absolutely just around that year. Problem with my old one here is there's starting to be cracks forming in it. It's a little hard to see, but right there's a crack, and what happens is when it heats up and pressurizes, it actually starts spraying coolant out of here. And I was actually just cleaning some off, but you can see, like in the grooves and stuff, there's coolant in there. It's kind of spraying all over, and I'm sure there's multiple cracks in other places. And just look at the difference between the old one and the new one. This is looking pretty dingy, so I'm happy to have a bit of an upgrade. Pretty simple. I'm just taking off the top hose first. It's not actually connected to any coolant. Just remove the spring clip, pull it back, twist off the top spring clip here. It's pretty easy. I'll spin that off, and there's nothing connected to this one. The only thing that's actually connected to the fluid is the bottom hose down. I've always liked how this coolant tank is held in here. It's only one screw right on the tip here, and then it's two clips in the back. So you just lift up and wiggle a little bit. Oh, I'm losing a little bit there. Keep that, don't let that drop down. Put a container down there, and then I'll just start draining some of the coolant into it. Draining some of that in, and I'll lift the reservoir up higher so the highest point is at the top. Now that everything's drained, remove the bottom spring clip and then pull that off. Mind whenever you take off this rubber hose, keep it up high in the air. You can see there's coolant right there. If I were to bring this down, that's gonna raise up and it's gonna wanna dump out. So I have the new tank right here in my hand. I'm gonna put that right in. Now I don't have to worry about it spilling. I can just set the tank in place, and everything's sealed. There's still the sensor I need to remove from the coolant tank here, and there's some areas that I need to clean up where some coolant spilled out, but everything's hooked up and it's not gonna start. Disconnect the coolant sensor, plug in the new sensor, slide the new reservoir into place, just line everything up, put that screw back in. Install the spring clip, install the top hose, and reinstall the top spring clip. Fill up the reservoir to in between the minimum and maximum line. Put the old cap back on. We'll start the engine. Look around for leaks, and what I'd recommend is let it run for a little bit and then loosen up the cap here and let the air gurgle out a little bit, because I imagine it's going to settle down a little bit since we did spill a little bit. There might be a few air bubbles. We replaced the old coolant reservoir on a 2.0T B7 Audi.